There it goes. Finally. Good morning, everybody. Good to see everyone out there. We see a handful of people filing in here. Thanks to all of you who are tuning in, whether you're on LinkedIn, whether you're on StreamYard or YouTube, wherever you may be. We appreciate you joining us this morning for a session of gPanel Basics. So for those of you that are watching, this is intended to be a beginner's I guess, not necessarily beginners, but this is meant to be like a walkthrough of the most essential functions of the gPanel platform. These are the things that you should know as a new user, or if you're a seasoned user and maybe you only really take part in, or you only utilize portions of it. This is the kind of thing where we want to show you, some of the more essential functions that you can see out there. My name is Brandon. I am the marketing director at Promevo, who makes gPanel, and I'm joined by Shelby Gaines, who is one of our support engineers and resident gPanel expert. Shelby, good morning.
Good morning, Brandon. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. So thanks to all of you that are out there watching this live or on demand. Doesn't look like there's a ton of us live right now, but people, they do file in. We appreciate all of you joining us. For those of you, regardless of where you're tuning in, over on the right sidebar, you'll see a comment section, and we would love to hear from you. If you have questions while Shelby is walking you through the demo, drop in your thoughts, drop in your comments, drop in your questions. If I can, I'll address them in real time. Otherwise, we will reserve a few minutes at the end of Shelby's presentation to address those and go through them. One quick note, we are, like all of you are probably to some degree or another Google Workspace admins, which means that you, in the last few months, you've gained access to the Gemini AI platform and all of the functions and tools that come with that. Ready or not, you've had it. So, some of you may have completely shut it off and, aren't quite ready to roll that out to your workforce. Others of you probably have it out there and you're wondering, how do you get people to use it? What are the best use cases of it? It's a major thing. Like, you've got the tools, you may as well try to get people to take advantage of it and use it. So we want to help you with that. And as part of that, we're running a 4-part webinar series beginning a week from today. We're going to cover every aspect of rolling out Gemini to your workspace, everything from the Gemini app. We're going to talk about prompt engineering. We're going to talk about Gemini within Google Sheets, Google Docs, the various apps that are out there. We've got a couple bonus videos on Google Vids and walking you through security and privacy settings. So you should see that link posted in the chat. Go ahead and sign up for that. We'll get you access to all of it. If you can't make it to all 4 sessions, if you can't make it to any of them, you'll still get access to all of the recordings. And also for those of you that registered for this, you will get this recording in your inbox of this particular session as soon as we wrap. So with that, I'm going to stop talking and I am going to hand it over to Shelby, who is going to walk us through gPanel.
Thank you, Brandon. I'm Shelby. I am a system support engineer here with Promevo. I have probably interacted with some of you guys on a ticket or on a video call, but it is great to be here today with you guys to be leading this month's gPanel webinar. And like Brandon said, we're going to be focusing on the basics. This webinar is designed for new gPanel administrators. We're going to explore some of the platform's most valuable features and hoping to equip you with the knowledge and skills for effective gPanel management. I will say that in recent months, our dev team has been working incredibly hard on upgrading gPanel, and earlier this month, we released our most powerful version yet, so I will be highlighting some of those new features as well. The topics today will be administration tools, user management, calendar resources, drive functionality, and the reporting tool. Some key takeaways that I want you guys to walk away with today are going to be understanding the core functions of gPanel, gaining confidence in navigating the gPanel interface, and learning how to leverage gPanel's features to streamline some of those administrative tasks you may have. gPanel is a tool that duplicates a lot of the functionality in the admin console. It also provides additional features that aren't found within the Google Admin Console. Simply put, gPanel is a tool to manage users and adjust their permissions. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to highlight is the ability to toggle between dark and light mode. This is now available with gPanel. We released this earlier this month with our new UI interface. This is probably one of my favorite features. This is definitely going to be a great help to those administrators who may experience eye strain during those long sessions. You can just toggle that on and off. I also would like to highlight this box here. If you ever needed to know what tier of gPanel you are on, or maybe perhaps your user role, you will always find that information at the top. This also provides easy links to the user portal, documentation, and support. If you need to reach out to us for a question, maybe you need to schedule a troubleshooting call, you can use this link, this button. It'll take you to a link, and you can do that with support. So the first thing we're going to start off with are going to be our administration tools. Those are going to be found on your left-hand side down here. Most importantly, I like to always highlight this Set gPanel Admin tool. In order for anyone to use gPanel, there must first be a user assigned as the application admin. As you can see, ours is Sam. The application admin has to be both an active user and a user assigned super admin permissions within the Google Admin Console. There can only be one application admin. So if you know that you have a current application admin that may be experiencing, or that may be leaving, or they're not a super admin, you definitely want to make sure that you change this to a active user that has super admin permissions so that you don't experience any type of service interruptions. Another tool that I like to highlight is going to be the secondary domains. If you are an organization that has maybe 4 or 5 domains and you need to enable those to manage those users within gPanel, you can do that as well. You just have to select the domain, and then you can enable it by pressing this checkbox. I also like to highlight the Google API status toolbar. This is probably one of my favorite features in gPanel. This toolbar provides important information about the operational status of different Google APIs, which makes it easier to monitor and troubleshoot. You can check all of the admin APIs here at the top, and you can also check all of your users' APIs. Again, this is very helpful when it comes to troubleshooting certain problems. I also like to highlight the indexing. Any changes in the admin console automatically sync with gPanel when users log in. If you need to update changes sooner, you can use the indexing tool. You'll be able to index against users, groups, calendars, and OUs. And this is just really helpful because if you need a change to show up immediately in your admin console, both the gPanel and your Google admin console, you can run your indexing, and those changes will reflect as well. I like to highlight the labs. These gPanel labs are basically a testing environment for new features currently under development, such as the bidirectional sync. I do like to note that these are experimental features, and they may be modified and removed at any time within your gPanel subscription. Role Manager is a feature that basically allows administrators to come in and create new roles with specific permissions, which is particularly useful for granting managers authority solely over their teams. And I also like to highlight the gPanel API. I don't have any set up right now, but for our enterprise clients, you can utilize the gPanel API to integrate with different software programs like Workday, Okta, and HubSpot to automate processes like onboarding users, decommissioning users, and even creating standard user policies. The next section we're going to move on is going to be our user management section. gPanel's user management serves as the default landing page for admins, providing a comprehensive user directory that mirrors the Google Admin Console. New users can be added directly within gPanel through a straightforward process. gPanel provides granular control over user permissions within the user profile settings, and these are all organized by service for efficient management. We're going to highlight the unique Gmail management capabilities that can help admins to enhance their user control and oversight. The first tool that I like to touch base on is going to be your account delegation. Account delegation is a feature that allows an admin to grant specific privileges to other users' inboxes. Within Gmail, end users are able to delegate their own accounts. In situations where you need individuals to act on behalf of each other, or maybe a compliance situation, admin are able to come in and delegate users in gPanel. I also like to highlight the expiration date feature. This allows admin to delegate accounts and set expiration dates and eliminating the need for the manual account updates. So if you needed to come in and maybe delegate an account to your HR manager for just 1 week, you can come in and do that and set that, and you wouldn't have to come back in to remove yourself. It would just automatically expire. Another tool that I like to highlight is the vacation responder and forwarding. These are also unique to gPanel. While these functions are available to the end user in Gmail, there is not a way for administrators to access these permissions within the admin console. In gPanel, administrators, have the ability to manage these settings. A vacation responder, also known as an automatic reply or out of office message, is a useful tool to inform senders that you are unavailable and provides information about when you will be back. This can help manage expectations and prevent urgent matters from falling through the cracks. For businesses who have clients that anticipate that ongoing communication, this is a gPanel feature that may be valuable for your business. The same could be said about forwarding. Enabling the email forwarding ensures productivity and also creates a backup of important emails by forwarding them to another address. Signature templates are another unique feature within gPanel. Signature templates can help to streamline your workflow and enhance your professional images. They offer quick information to your contact information like the name, title, company, phone number, email address, and website. Adding information to your signature template helps to expand your online presence, and a well-crafted signature also just adds a touch of professionalism. I do like to notice that all of the signature templates that you create will show up under your template options. So if you had different templates that you needed to set for different users or groups, you would have the ability to do that within the user profile and also from the signature templates. And signature templates is like a big block itself. So if you ever have any questions or want to go over those, you can always reach out to support. We'll be more than happy to assist. Our next topic that we will cover is going to be our calendar resources. gPanel offers a comprehensive calendar management capabilities exceeding the limitations of the Google Admin Console. You will have access to all of your users' calendars. And before we look at the calendars, I do like to highlight that you also have the ability to transfer calendars. This is one key feature that you are able to do without user deactivation, which is something that you have to do within the admin console. This is particularly beneficial during employee offboarding because this kind of ensures that future events are not missed. For example, if you have an employee that's leaving on a Friday, but their calendar is booked for the entire month, a full calendar transfer can be done to to maintain continuity and so that none of those events are missed. As I said, when you search for a user search for a user, you will have access to all of their calendars. You also have the choice to search for a specific calendar. And with all of the calendars, you'll have the options depending on the permissions you have to edit, share, create events, and look at the history. Administrators are going to be able to come into specific users' calendars and edit the calendars. For instance, if you needed to change the name, maybe perhaps the location, the time zone, maybe you want to select is selected, or maybe you want to, unselect is shown. Administrators have the ability to do that. Administrators can also come in and adjust the sharing permissions from the top level at the domain level and as well as users and groups. So for instance, if you maybe wanted the calendar to be able to be viewed by everyone on the internet, you can make that public. You can also adjust how your calendar is seen, whether it's a viewer or free or viewer, free or busy viewer, excuse me. You can also come in and add groups and users. You can change their role. And this is also very helpful, especially when you're like onboarding a new user and perhaps they need to meet with HR and HR needs to create all these meetings. If you grant maybe your HR group, maybe viewer permissions or editor permissions, they will have access to that specific calendar. They can come in, they can manage events like that. So it's really helpful because that means that the admin doesn't have to do as much work. Maybe the HR group can take off some of that lead. Administrators are also able to come in and create events. Not only are you going to be able to create events on the calendar, but you can also edit existing events. Maybe you need to add another user or a group. You're going to be able to do that. If you needed to maybe change the day from today to tomorrow, you can do that. You're also going to be able to create reoccurring events, which is something that, again, that you cannot do within the admin console. And lastly, all of the actions taken, you will see a history of, which is very helpful for auditing purposes. Maybe if there was an event that was once showing on a manager's calendar and it's no longer there, you can take a look through the history and see which performing user did that action. So this is also very helpful for your audit and compliance. Although not covered in detail here, gPanel also provides similar management capabilities for your resource calendars and resource templates. Your calendar transfer logs are really going to be important for organizations that had those high strict compliance requirements. It basically provides a valuable audit trail documenting all calendar transfer activities. So if a calendar was accidentally transferred to another user and you needed to know when it was, you'll be able to come to your calendar transfer logs and find that information. So in So in short, gPanel basically empowers administrators with enhanced control over users' calendars and it streamlines processes like employee offboarding. Next, we're going to take a look at our drive management. gPanel's drive management offers a more user-friendly experience than Google's. Let's pull up a user here. Oh, spell it right. You are able to transfer drives. If you are working within an admin console, the Google admin console, you know that when you transfer a drive, it's basically irreversible. If you were to transfer a drive here in gPanel, you would be able to use our drive sweep tool, and that would basically come through and that would basically provide edit access to the original owner. And that's in a different section. I always like to highlight that too because that's an advantage of using gPanel over the admin console. Admin have the ability to come in to a user's My Drive. They can see all of the folders and files, and they'll be able to come in and create folders if they needed to. Perhaps they needed to come in and actually view certain documents in a folder. They'll be able to come in and view the actual document. They'll actually open up the document in Google Docs. You'll be able to share that if you needed to. Maybe you needed to download that, but maybe you just needed to see this is the correct document that you're looking for. You'll be able to see that with the with the gPanel. If you needed to come in and rename it, or perhaps adjust your sharing permissions. And this is something that I always like to highlight. You can come in and change it again from the domain level. So if you needed it to be restricted for only users with the link, maybe perhaps anybody in your domain, you can change that. You can also change the roles. The roles are going to be native to those found within the Google Drive. But you can also come in and add users and groups. In addition to that, you can set expiration dates. So perhaps I have a document, it's a finance document. I only needed to share it out with a manager for a set of time, and I only need them to have viewer permissions. gPanel administrators are going to be able to come in and do that. Again, that is something that you're not going to be able to do within the admin console. The Drive Search tool is another tool that is exclusive to gPanel. Now, you are able to search within your own My Drive within Google, but the Drive Search tool that we have is going to allow administrators to locate any document within the domain using various search parameters. And once found, they can manage the document similar to My Drive. All you would need to do is to have a source. So I will add a source here, and then you need to just add one parameter. For this one, I'm just going to add a document title. I'm just going to type in actor. And basically what this is going to do is going to search through all of this user's documents and files and folders that have actor involved. And from there, you can pick and choose and manage it how you need to. So this is the document that I was looking for. Let's say I needed to come in and share it out with a group. I could come in, I can do that. Again, I can change the roles. I can set an expiration date. I can change the general access from top level. Maybe I just needed to come in and rename it because it's an old, I need to update it to 2025. Or again, you always have the options to view that document as well, which is something that you're not going to be able to do within the admin console. Ownership transfer drives are basically an audit log of all of the drives that have been transferred. I do like to highlight the shared drives because there's a lot here for administrators to do. This will includes the ability to share drives, manage members, and adjust their roles, which mirror those found in the native Drive app. You can adjust the sharing settings here. And if you're familiar with the settings within the Google Drive, you know that they're kind of all over the place. This is in one central location. So you can come in and you can uh, customize those shared drive settings. Let's say there's a shared drive that you need to have access to, but you don't. You will get this convenient little pop up, and this basically is telling yourself to grant yourself permissions. In this case, I know that I want to be a content manager. I need to be able to actually look at the files, edit the files. So I will grant myself access to that. And once I do that, I will have access to the folders, which is really cool. And again, you'll be able to manipulate it the same way with My Drive. You'll be able to, if you needed to come in and share the folder, you can do that, as well as set those expiration dates. If you needed to change the access, if you needed to rename it, you can do that. I will say that I will say that it is crucial to remember that the permissions hierarchy within the platform functions identically to Google Drive. That means the permissions are inherited. So when you come in and you're changing the permissions, just be careful because when you grant permissions to yourself and others, those changes can have cascading effects. Next, we're going to take a look at the report center, and first our cPanel logs. The cPanel logs diligently track and record all admin activity that take place within the Google Admin Console. This comprehensive log can prove to be an invaluable resource when troubleshooting and resolving issues that may arise due to changes made within the Google Admin Console. By examining the cPanel logs, administrators can trace actions, configuration modifications, and pinpoint potential errors that are contributing to the problem at hand. You can also use different filters to filter out those actions. Our reporting tool is a powerful feature that offers over 77 customizable reports that deliver specific details about users, groups, OUs, and teams. All of our reports are going to be categorized by service, and we have a lot of reports. Each reports will have a different sets of data depending on which report you choose. Keep in mind that depending on your tier of gPanel will affect which reports you have access to. For instance, gPanel Starter only has 12 reports. Enterprise will have all 77. With your reports, not only will you be able to customize those, but you will also be able to manually schedule those. And let's just find a report. The cool thing about the schedule is that it's one and done. So if you need to set a schedule for maybe every Monday at 10 o'clock, you'll be able to do that. You would just have to add that. If you are creating a schedule within the Google Admin Console, once you run that report, you have to go back and recreate it. Once you create it here within within the report template, it's saved. Again, each report is going to have different sets of data available. You don't have to choose all of these columns. Perhaps maybe if you just needed a job title, information, and maybe organization, you can go through and pick those columns. You have the choice to run it against user, group, OU, or domain. And then you also have the ability, oh, well, I should probably choose one. Let's choose one. And then you also have the ability to email out the report or share it. A new feature that the dev team just updated is that even if you choose to share it out with someone, you can also adjust their role. So for instance, maybe I just need you to have a viewer access to this report. I don't want you to be able to edit it. I just want you to be able to view it. Or maybe I just want you to maybe make some comments on it. You can add that to your template and that will run. I will highlight that some of the key advantages of using the gPanel's reporting tool are going to be granular insights. You'll be able to gain deeper insights into your user activity, data usage, security, and compliance. You can tailor your reports to your specific needs and preferences. You can schedule those reports for recurring tasks and automate report delivery. Share reports with specific users or teams, and our reports are based on real-time data. So when you first run the report, it will take a minute for that information to come up, but that's because gPanel is getting all that information in real time versus sometimes how the reports in the admin console can be like up to 3 days late. This is where I'm going to finish off right here, just out of respect, out of time. So I just appreciate all of you guys for joining us. If you have any other questions or would like to get a more in-depth look at some of these gPanel tools on another time, please never hesitate to reach out to support. We will be more than happy to assist. And I will send it over to you, Brandon.
Thank you, as always, Shelby. Very nice job. Yeah, you just you did my whole spiel for me. Well, we have a couple minutes, so if any of you out there have questions, then now is a good time to drop them in, and we'll address them. I know a lot of people watch these on demand, so I will show this little banner here. If you have questions, you can always use the little chat icon down in the middle, or sorry, down on the bottom right. You can see it on Shelby's screen right now, the little purple icon. And that's like a direct conduit to Shelby herself, as well as the rest of the support team. So you're always welcome to drop in there and chat. Or if there is something that you would like us to address on a future webinar, or you just prefer email, then send an email to updates@primevo.com. Those come directly to me. I will make sure they're addressed. If there are those of you out here that are watching this that are not using gPanel yet, then we'll change the banner out. Go to gpanel.io and reach out. We can get you set up with a free trial and get you a full demo and walk you through all of the functions personally. So with that, looks like we have a quiet crowd, no questions. So with that, I think we'll call it a wrap. Thanks to those of you that are joining us live. Thanks, as always, to those of you that are joining us in the future on demand. And as a reminder, we do these every month. So you can come to as many as you like and try something new, learn something new with gPanel every month. And with that, thank you, Shelby.
Of
Much
course.
appreciated. And thanks again to all of you, and happy Tuesday, and we will see you all soon.
Have a good one.
Bye now.